Yo, what's up, Insiders Club? This is Dan here, and I wanted to say hello to you. I'm with my friend Lou. We're actually running on our way out, but we're going to take just a few minutes and talk about some things here. I always try to get Lou on camera, especially for the Insiders Club here. You guys are real important to me, and Lou is just a great friend and a great teacher and a great healer. And so, any insights that you can have. What I wanted to talk about today was sort of transitioning from, because I know you experienced some fear in your life, and I know that basically fear ruins everything for everyone. So how can we transition from fear into love? Because I believe that you have done very well with that in your life. As I know you, I see you, I feel you, I sense you, and I've seen how you deal with any kind of negativity or, judgment, criticism, and you do it very, very well, very smoothly, and it almost doesn't even seem to penetrate you. And so I wanted you to be the one to talk with my friend here on the Insiders Club on, what is fear and how can we transmute it into love so that we can heal at the deepest levels.
Well, I had the privilege when I was 3 over in El Paso, Texas, where I was born, to experience my biological mother pushing me out the front door and leaving me outside all day. And so while I was out there in the bushes, hiding in the bushes, trembling, terrified of the dogs that ran around the neighborhood, it was I had a real strong sense of fear, and I was so afraid that I actually trembled. Now, this might sound a little different for some people to hear this, but I actually somehow I felt this presence come to me, and I honestly believe.
Can't talk about the presence, can you? It's too awesome.
Well, unless you've experienced it, you may not understand. So I don't want to offend anybody per se, but all of a sudden I felt safe, and it got me through those scenarios. The only reason tears come to my eyes is just because I'm so grateful, But anyway, I actually followed the dogs into the alley, and they would knock the trash cans down and go through the trash and eat out of the trash cans. And then when they left, I got their leftovers, and I actually ate out of trash cans when I was 3. And that happened for a couple of years. So during the day while I was outside trying to survive, my dad was at work, and my mother had other men coming over to the house throughout the day, didn't want me in the house. So I stayed outside all day, and then at the end of the day, she would bring me into the house before my dad came home from work to make sure that I was all cleaned up, looking like she's taking care of me all day. But it wasn't the case. So my dad never really found out about that, but just a few years ago before he passed away. And anyhow, but that sense of rejection, that sense of fear that I went through was quite tremendous. And it's been said that when an animal is not being loved and cared for by its own mother, they die. So what happened with me is I died inside.
We were just talking about that today,
Mm-hmm.
and we both kind of had some realizations.
Mm-hmm.
We're continuing to grow,
Right.
and that's why we decided to make this video.
Well, yeah, that's right. That's right. It was inspired to us to do this for those that may be able to learn from this and grow from it. And but just experiencing that. So then when I was about 5, my dad found out about some things. He was very hurt, and then they got divorced, and then he moved to California, got remarried, and I ended up moving to California with my sisters. And my mother didn't want us kids, so my dad ended up with us. And then, so we ended up like a Brady bunch, So I had 3 older stepbrothers, and then I had my 2 younger sisters and myself, and that makes 6 of us. And we went on with life like that. But because I only spoke Spanish the first 5 years of my life, that was my first language. When I came to Orange County, the kids almost daily took me onto the field and kicked me and beat on me, spit on me, called me names for about 5 years that happened. And so, yeah, I know what it's like to have a lot of fear, a lot of rejection in my life. But the great thing about that, though, is at the time, even though how terrified I was and how I felt so confused about things, when I was about 10, my stepmother taught me how to pray. So she said that if I will just pray to God that for whatever I need, I will get it. And so she reminded me at the time when she was in an accident and she was hit by a car and her car flipped 3 times in the air. Her bones were broken in her body. They put a body cast throughout her body, and they told her it probably going to take about a year to heal up her whole body because she was so broken up. Luckily, she survived through that. But anyway, she prayed, and within 30 days, within a month, she was out of the cast, back to work, taking care of her kids. And so she reminded me about that. And so she was teaching me about the power of prayer kind of thing. And so she didn't know that her son was beating me up in secret, you know. So she took off to the store to get some groceries. I got babysitted by my older brother that was about 10 years over me. And he had been beating me for 5 years, off and on, you know, and I was terrified of him. Well, anyhow, I actually prayed for protection. I asked God to please protect me here and now and forever. And you know, it's interesting, but I asked for that, and I've been protected ever since. Nobody's ever hurt me since. It's been nothing but an incredible experience. So when I was 21, and I was in 1973, and I was dying in bed, I again prayed, and I asked for him to teach me and help me get well and show me what to do and how to live, and whatever I need to do, I'm willing to do it. And he taught me, and he prayed, and he showed me. And I was embraced by this light around me, and I was given some knowledge, and I did exactly what I was told, and within 6 months, this big tumor went away, all the acne, asthma, and arthritis went away. So I realized that all the pain, all the agony, all the suffering, all the neglection and the ramboozle times, all the things that ever happened to me was actually for the good. It was actually part of my journey. And I also realized that every single one of us are one. We're all one. We all are in this game of life together. And so our purpose here is to continue to learn, to evolve, and become better and better and better and master the art of living. But at the same time, our purpose is to love and to respect and to honor and to appreciate this life and be grateful for every moment. And to be slow to anger and quick to forgive, and to remind each other how beautiful, how powerful, how brilliant, and how ingenious, and how amazing each one of us are. Because when we begin to identify the true nature of who we are, and remember that, because a long time ago we forgot the true nature of who we are. See, I made up a bunch of stories when I was little that I wasn't good enough, that I don't matter, and that I'll never measure up to anything. I'm not smart enough, good enough, whatever. I'm too ugly, too stupid, a bunch of things I made up about myself. Those are limiting beliefs.
How did you get over those limiting beliefs?
Because when I was at my deathbed, I was given instruction to love and to forgive and have compassion for everyone that ever hurt me or took from me or bamboozled me, neglected me, rejected me, and beat me to the ground, whatever they did to offend me in any way, shape, or form, to have compassion for them and to love them. And I didn't even know the meaning of love back then. I didn't even know what compassion was. I didn't know what it was to anoint people with love, even that hurt you so badly. But to have compassion for them because they did things that they don't know any better. See, a lot of people do things and they say things, but they don't know any better. They come from...
They're just ignorant.
They're out of ignorance and out of dysfunctional behavior. Mm-hmm. And so I didn't know what all those things meant. But right thereafter, I was so blessed to have someone come into my life and take me under the wing and show me what these things meant. And also, I was taken into scriptures, and I remember reading through Paul in Corinthians about love, what love really means, you know, and unconditional love really means. So I suggest you read it. Find the meaning of love and live it and be it and experience it and live in that space. Because when you do, and then start, and also look up compassion. Find out what compassion means. Because when you begin to really love, choose. See, the thing is, most people don't even know this, but we have the free will We have the power to choose to be healthy and vibrant or to be sick and decrepit. We have the choice to be wealthy or to be poor, to be happy or sad, to eat an orange or a donut. You know what I mean? We have to choose to think powerfully and to feel fulfilled. But if we don't know that, then we gravitate to what we've been taught. So many of us have been conditioned, programmed to think otherwise. So when you begin to start identifying the true nature of who we really are, which is spiritual, electrical, infinite beings that can create any possibility. So when we choose to cleanse, heal, regenerate, we can do that. And it actually happens. That's when I began to identify that, and when I was given instructions to take in living foods into my body from a plant source, I learned how to do these things. I learned how to fast. I learned how to pray. I learned how to forgive and complete my life. By getting clear and complete with past issues, by learning how to, even I went to my brother years later and I went up to him, I said, I want to apologize to you. This is after I got out of the Air Force in '74. There was a family reunion. I said, I want to apologize to you. Because when I was little, I asked you to leave me alone, and you did. And you never hurt me again. Everybody at school I did the same thing with. But instead of being grateful for that, nope, I kept reliving my pain, and I kept being resentful and angry. I kept judging you. I kept making you wrong. I condemned you many times, even wished you dead many times. And I want to apologize that I did that to you. Because I did that energetically, silently, in my quiet,
yourself.
Inside myself. And I said, I'm done with all that. And I want to first take responsibility that I did that. And I want to apologize. And I want to ask you if you'd be so willing to accept my apology. And when he did, and he explained to me some things what happened to him when he was little, and that he actually relived what happened to him. But I broke that cycle. I didn't want to do anything to hurt people, you know what I mean? But I just want you to know that during the time, basically from 10 on until I was 21, I was very angry and very resentful, and I had a chip on my shoulder. I was very rebellious, and if anybody ever tried to hurt me, I was ready to kill them for if they even considered to do that to me. And all that let go. I let all that go, and I began to love, and I began to respect.
Was it a process of letting go? Did it happen in chunks? I mean, it was through part of it the cleansing process of your body.
I think when I begin to understand the meaning of love and compassion and see this thing about forgiveness, when I begin to understand that it wasn't about condoning the acts of what happened to me, it was about letting go of the resentment, letting go of the anger, letting go of the condemnation towards these people that did things to me.
Does that have
letting
a
go of
stronghold?
letting go of reliving my pain. You see, forgiveness is about that. It's not about condoning the act. You see, so when I begin to let go and trust in the process of life and knowing that these experiences that I went through, I attracted into my life for the good. I learned to take responsibility for everything that happened to me. My mother did a big favor for me. When she neglected me and pushed me out the front door, you either sink or swim. But I got through it, you see. But I became stronger. I learned how to survive. I became stronger. I became wiser and better because of it. You see, and even all the beatings that I went through, I learned how to become strong. I learned how to defend myself. But I also learned the most beautiful things anybody could ever learn, and that is to be able to love this life and appreciate this life and be grateful. Be grateful for this life. I cry out of gratitude. I cry out of love, not only for my life and for Dan's, but for every one of you that's listening to this thing. If you catch on to what I'm saying and really begin to love and appreciate your life and take good care of it, learn to love it and respect it and honor it and appreciate it with everything you've got. Declare it in your life. Make it a point. You'll be able, because when you focus on that, you will let go. You will let go of all the anger, all the resentment, all the fear.
Which is the underlying cause of all the issues of illness that people are experiencing.
That's right. Fear is the number one center of all sickness, all disease. It's fear-based. So just turn the channel. It's just like a TV or a radio.
Focus on love.
Turn the channel to love and let go of love,
So,
the fear.
Did you just start focusing on love, and then automatic response was seeing your brother in that new way, seeing your mother, all the people that had
And
hurt
I told
you?
him that from this point on, I shall just love you and appreciate you and know that you're an incredible individual, because I found out that I'm an incredible individual. No longer was I a stupid idiot, no good for
So
nothing.
you learn to love yourself.
I learned to love this life, and the thing is, I learned to realize also that this body is not me, and this body you have is not you either. This body is a blessing, it's a gift, it's a vehicle for us to live through it and express through it. Let your spirit, let your inner potential that's within you live through you and express through you, and let that govern you. You know, when I was about 45 years of age, this is like, I think around 17 years ago or so, I honestly thought this man was 43, 45 years of age. This guy could outrun me. He could hang for a pipe like this for an hour. I mean, this guy could do things that was just off the hook. Amazing stuff. But he mastered the art of love. He knew how to respect and how to honor and how to appreciate his life. He knew how to tap in. He knew how to operate from this inner potential that lies within us. We are very, very powerful beings. But we forgot that. And I'm here to remind every single one that comes in my space that you're beautiful and you're powerful and you're amazing, you're incredible, you're ingenious, you're brilliant, and you can create possibility after possibility. You have so much potential, way more than we've been thinking like, or being like, or acting like, or eating like.
And the fear closes that down.
Yeah, that's right. Turn your channel. Turn to love.
The
Get
fear is
acquainted with
can't.
it.
The love is can.
That's right. Exactly.
So we really got to get to the airport, bro.
We do.
But
We do.
Before we leave, I just wanted to reiterate two things. Number one, this last time I learned from you to take another level of responsibility for myself. So I want to thank you for that, and I want to encourage everyone to really look at your life, and if something isn't happening that you want to happen, blaming or anything isn't really going to do much good.
Yeah, if you're a blame shifter, I would say take massive, ridiculous responsibility for every thought, for every feeling, for everything you eat and drink. Remember, it's our free will, it's our choice. And so I've gone to the point where I enjoy raw living cultured foods, all plant-based. You don't have to really kill anything. You don't have to kill animals. You don't have to drink their milk. You don't have, you can make sprouted almond coconut milk. That's one of my favorite ones, But, you don't have to kill your food either. You can learn to live very easily and very powerfully on raw living cultured foods once you learn it and how to do it. In the near future, when people go to Paradigm.com or LukeRon.com, they'll have access to recipes, and they'll have access to the 4 principles and how to apply them and put them into action. But this conversation we're having right now is very deep and is very real, and it is really about taking responsibility. We're the ones that are attracting all this stuff to ourselves. When I was a little boy, I actually said I wanted to die. So when I was actually dying and I had this near-death experience, I was actually taken back when I was a little boy.
To yourself, you said that.
Yes.
And you were slowly dying all those years.
Oh yeah, but the real time when I really started dying is when I was 3. That was when I started dying right there. That's when I died inside.
When your mom kicked you out.
Yeah, and then when I got
the rejection,
and living out of trash cans, and then all the beatings. So I went through a self-destructive mode. A lot of people are under a self-destructive mode and don't even know it.
Yeah,
that's the thing. That's
most of us probably programmed by that.
Conditioned.
Which is the other thing.
But remember this before I go, is if you made up any stories, you're too fat or you're too ugly or not good enough or you don't matter or not enough of something, just remember this. If you can take a hold of what I'm saying, know that all that is not true. The truth is You are a spiritual, electrical, infinite being that can create possibility to possibility, and you have a free choice, a free will to think powerfully and to love and appreciate every moment and breathe slow and deep. It's one of the keys to longevity. It's a key to health. It's a key to many things. Be present. Be present to this, what I'm talking about, because you'll become alive again, and you'll be able to start waking up inside, and you'll start eating better, thinking better, doing better in your life. Before you know it, you become an example and a contribution to this world to make it better, better, and better, because that's how we're going to save this planet. For us to remember the beauty and the power of who we are and start reminding each other of that. Before you know it, everybody's loving and appreciating, respecting one another and honoring one another. And then all of a sudden, there's no more arguments. There's no more diseases because there's no more fear. Because fear lives inside that, you see. With love, which is the most powerful force there is, right? So with love and with respect and honoring and appreciating, walk around with an attitude of gratitude. Count your blessings. It's one of the key things that if there was one message I would like to deliver to the world, is that right there. It goes way beyond raw, living, cultured foods. I mean, that's one of the principles of life, but this comes first. How could you ever even appreciate going to plant-based or not killing anything unless you love?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
So the last thing I wanted to say was that, well, and you can just agree with me or not, is that all the crap that you went through, you wouldn't trade that for the world because it's made you who you are. Right?
Absolutely. I would not trade a thing. I appreciate the good, the bad, and ugly. It was all good.
Some of my friends are challenged right now. Many of them that come
It was
to me.
all for the good because it allowed me
Yeah.
to learn, allowed me to grow, evolve, get to the source of it.
And there's always another challenge or opportunity for growth in this life, no matter how high you
You know what?
evolve.
Back in '88, somebody actually took me for a lot of money. I lost everything. I lost the house, the cars, money, everything I ever worked for. In '88. And you know what? The first thing I did is I found a car for $200 that ran, and I slept out of that car, and I rolled my window down. I looked up in the sky and I said, Father, the first thing I want to do is I want us to forgive this man for what he's done to me, because he took advantage of my trusting nature. And I know that there's an opportunity for me in a lesson for me to learn from this and grow from it and become stronger and wiser because of this experience. All I want to ask you a couple things. One, let's forgive this man. Second thing, anoint him and touch him. Let us touch him with so much love and touch him so much to the point where he feels our love and appreciation for him and how special and how amazing and how powerful he is. Because I know that when we touch him in that way and he feels the love, he will transform just like I did. And once he switches over, he'll never take from anything or anybody. He'll just want to love and contribute and make things better and be a peaceful, loving, caring person and a giving person. And the next thing I want to ask is guide and direct me. Where do I go from here? And that's the next day I woke up and I was given instruction after 12 years of silence and never talking about these teachings. I was given instruction to break my silence and start sharing these teachings. That was in '88, and I've been doing it ever since. And I'm so glad, so thankful that I did that. And because of it, there's been, maybe 300,000-400,000 people transformed because of it. And you're transforming people's lives.
Many more even, maybe.
And many more to come, yeah? So anyway, I love you,
Yeah,
appreciate you. Thank you for listening so powerfully, and let's make it happen.
Oh yeah, we gotta go, bro. Hey, bro. Awesome. Thank you very much for checking out this video. I love you. Lou loves you. It's all love. So peace be with you. I'll talk to you all soon, okay? Bye now.